distinguished Nigerians. An occasion of this type provides a forum for felicitation, discourse, and mutual economic relationship. The occasion is to formally welcome new members, discuss the state of our economy, and acquaint you with what is expected of you as a chartered economist practitioners. The occasion is also to expose you to a large business community of high-profile professionals that one could develop viable business relationship with, to turn around their well-being and that of the nation at large. The Institute of Chartered Economists of Nigeria is passionate about its mandate on harnessing the economic potentials of Nigeria for rapid socio-economic development through policy advisory, pragmatic planning, and participation in policy implementation. The passion stems from economic mandate to the nation by the Constitution of Nigeria that the state shall harness the resources of the nation and promote national prosperity and efficient economy, as well as to secure maximum welfare, freedom, and happiness of every citizen, equality of status and opportunity. Section 16 of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, 1999 Constitution, Section 16, 1A and B. These mandates possess a challenge to all of us in this institute that we need to make sacrifices for its realization. First, the institute organizes seminars, workshops, conferences, both local and international,
The network is going.
members to developing their human capital potential, professional and self-development. Of the training and knowledge that you gain from our mandatory continuing professional educational training, MCPET. The importance of knowledge in economics to a nation cannot be overemphasized, especially today's knowledge-driven economy where information and communication technology rule the world. Economics is the bedrock of national development, which the people and governments use as tools in pursuance of the national economic objectives. As chartered economists, we must be guided by a deep knowledge of the economy to be able, one, contribute to effective policy making and policy review. Two, advise businessmen and women and government wisely and imbibe discipline, honesty, and hard work, recognizing the dignity of labor. Your induction today is partly to keep you abreast with how to handle the above expectation. We emphasize here that the Institute places high premium on members' integrity in anywhere they are operating, discipline, hardworking, honest, and zero corruption. The Institute has a disciplinary committee to try every members if they commit any of the above offenses. It is my wish and prayers for you that you shall never be found wanting in your place of work or with the Institute. I congratulate you for being found worthy to be inducted among the many that wishes to be inducted. Your induction today will open a new and bright chapter in your life. Thank you for listening. God bless you all. God bless Icen. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Let's give a round of applause for our president for that very brief and precise kind of a welcome address. We really appreciate you, Mr. President, and we wish you the best of luck. Without wasting much of our time, we want to quickly go to that gigantic and a prolific writer, a professor of repute, and for everything. When you talk of economics, Prof is there. When you talk of educational management, the professor is there. And talk of economics and talk of anything is all in all, like that of our president too. I want to quickly recognize to call in for the welcome address from the Director General of the Institute of Chartered Economists of Nigeria. It's another person, that Professor C.O. Balogun. Please let's welcome by giving him a very warm round of applause.
Thank you very much. Protocol. It is indeed my great pleasure to say a happy welcome to you all. I feel certain that your membership of Icen is not by accident, but a planned event, because we all know that the economy is the life wire of any country. Nevertheless, there are some who still have some questions to ask. For instance, what is the Institute all about? Of what significance is it? What is the overall objective? It is, however, not likely that all such questions can be answered at a time. But the good thing is to note, is that we have succeeded in putting many minds on the path of inquiry, and the inquisitive mind shall eventually get answer to their question. Remember, the book of all wisdom says, seek and ye shall find. Icen was established at 1 Can 59 of 1990 and gazetted by the House of Representatives in 2012 and 2020. Icen enjoyed all the rights and privileges and immunity that any other association of similar professional giant or status can ever boast of. The Institute of Chartered Economists of Nigeria, Icen, was launched for the first time in Kaduna, August 27, 2002. The pioneering membership was just a handful, but within these past years, the membership has increased dramatically. Therefore, if one is qualified for membership of Icen, one should count oneself choosing to be of the service of helping our country to achieve some of its global objectives. Our achievement for the period. The Institute is in collaboration with Oxford University, Namibia, Poma International Business University, Benin Republic, Bob Beach University, Dominica, and African University of Science Administration and Commercial Study, Lomé, Togo. In all the universities, association of Icen is accepted to read for master's degree, while the fellowship of Icen is accepted for a PhD in economics and other related field of study. The university certificate or degree are accepted in Nigeria for NYSC, for graduate, or first degree, and others. The Institute is in the list of recommended professional organizations recognized and accepted by the World Professional Association in the promising, that is the Association of Certified Commercial Diploma, England, United Kingdom. You can verify this online via the association website or that recommended link, or that the recommended organization link. To crown it all, the Charter Bill of the Icen was passed by the House of Representatives in 2012 and 2019. The same bill has came through motion a month ago, accordingly with House Committee for Correction and Modification of relevant sections. It is our hope that the bill will have a successful passage in this ninth National Assembly under this record term of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. The latest of them all is that your institute is in good romance with ICANN, a father and mother of accountancy. We are related very well in all areas of life. As a premier and first professional accountancy institute in Nigeria, we are bound to respect and honor the ICANN and Icen relationship in all applications. We will not betray the trust ICANN had on us as the only economic professional body in Nigeria and the world at large. Just as ICANN was the first accountancy professional body in Nigeria, so is Icen the first economic institute in Nigeria and the world at large. The marriage between ICANN and Icen is divinely ordained and settled. My dear colleagues in the profession, we are still waiting for the Nigerian Society of Economists to join us in the profession, so we can make the study of economics more technical and applicable in our nation, instead of subjecting the study of economics to a mere journal production. In the history of our great country, Icen has provided job opportunity for over 2,000 Nigerians nationwide, and more jobs are being made available if the charter will be made available if the charter bill is accepted by the president, as we spread to all the state and local government area in Nigeria. We therefore call for your support to have the institute be passed into and out of National Assembly for greater job opportunity as projected by this current administration. The view that economic is only a positive size by many is divorced from reality. The size of economics cannot be separated from the normative aspect. Economy as a science is concerned with human welfare and involves ethical consideration. Therefore, economy is also a normative science. As pointed out by Pijos, Marshall believe that economic science is chiefly neither valuable as an intellectual didactics, nor even as a means of winning truth for its own sake, but as a hard maid of ethics and servant of practice. On this consideration, economic is not only like bearing, but also fruit bearing. Economists cannot afford to be mere spectator and armchair professional and academician. An economist who is only an economist, selfish Russian, is a poor, pretty fish. Pijos also said, in this age of planning, when all nations aspire to welfare state, it is only the economy who is in a position to advocate for them remedy the economic of the modern world, where we elect to the play of human motive that are ordinary, that are something mean and dismal and ignorable. Our impulse is not the philosopher impulse, knowledge for the sake of knowledge, but rather the physiologist knowledge for the healing that knowledge may help to bring. It is not enough for the economy to explain and analyze the problem of unequal distribution of wealth, industrial peace, social security, and several other, but rather its work is to offer suggestion for the solution of such problem. Had he remained a mere theoretician, poverty and misery and crash conflict will have been the north of mankind. The fact that economists are called upon to pronounce judgment and tender advice on economic quagmire shows that the normative, that is practical aspect of the economic science, has been gaining ground ever since the laissez-faire spirit became dead. This conforms to the state of wanting that say it is very difficult for economists to divest their discussion completely of unnormative significance. Economics is therefore not only a positive side, but of what it is, but also a normative side of what ought to be. The question now is, how can a firm or a nation solve economic problems without the charter economics like you? It is like a firm forcing a balance sheet of its account to balance without the charter accountant go through the books of account of the firm. The reason for the formation of Icen. In Icen, we are practitioners of the subject matter, but at the university level, the General Secretary of Economics is the teacher of it and not the practitioner. In fact, we appreciate them for the good work of teaching the young the subject matter. These and many more are key reasons why we now make all our training a mandatory one for every member to attend. The lawyers and the rest of you should be ready to study econometrics, statistics for decision and policy formulation. Any Icen member and associate or fellow and PFD who default any of our mandatory continuing professional educational training for more than 2 times will have his or her certificate revoked or withdraw, as well as be published on national dailies. Let us build a professional body that can stand the test of time. For the good of the world, the DOT over the year carry out a restructuring exercise by bringing the institute closer to the people. This was successfully carried out in May and July 2016, respectively. The institute was restructured according to the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, with Kaduna as the national headquarters of our great Icen. This is done to ensure that all Nigerians are carried along for the purpose of creating more jobs for unemployed Nigerians and to assist this present administration to achieve the goal of job creation. Each of these regions has a regional coordinator or head and state coordinator working for the progress of our great institute. The institute also appoints national and deputy coordinator to oversee the activities of the regional coordinator or heads. This is to ensure that more offices are open in states where the presence of the institute is lacking, or appointed an elected officer of Icen and to report to the National Secretariat of our great institute in Kaduna from time to time for situational reports. The gift of creative imagination and intellectual gigantism is not an exclusive preserve of a selected few, but is evenly distributed by nation to the populace. Be totally involved in what you perceive to be of economic advantage to your society instead of disqualify yourself with imaginary handicaps. You will eventually fulfill when you realize how much you have assisted Icen to achieve its aim and objective. My duty, ladies and gentlemen, is simply to welcome you, but not to lecture you on the virtues inherent in perpetuating your membership. Icen does not teach one to be stingy and not to give when occasion demands, but rather to open your eyes to encourage your interest in productivity-oriented investment for the good of the society in which we live. Time has gone when people misinterpreted the study of economics to mean training in unwillingness to give. Remember that we are born to stay by the government of the day and not to give constructive and positive advice to the leadership of our great nation, most vitally Nigeria government, that fighting them on the pages of newspaper and the social media. I therefore call on all Icen members to build a wall around this administration by giving the best economic advice that will help to have the Nigeria of our dreams. It is our hope that Icen qualified members can play a greater role in this administration if given the opportunity to do so, so as to support the government to achieve a greater economic progress as a nation, or as we move to the next level of industrial progress, economic growth, employment opportunity, sound education, and more infrastructural development, as well as foreign and local investment and more economic opportunity in the years ahead. We must all understand that Icen was never established to make Nigeria of their hard-earned income, but to bridge the gap between the accountant and the economist. We are hereby to bring the economists out of the classroom setting to the field of professional in the area of technical research and other economic interests, with the vision of the president's second term in office to improve the economy of Nigeria and to make Nigeria the leading nation as an environment free from corruption. It is quite obvious that the best team to work with to have this perfected is the chartered economists. We therefore urge our members to submit better economic book page to government so we can have the Nigeria of our dream. This is the time the nation needs you, the chartered economists. In Icen, I can show you that Nigeria will be free from all the economic quagmire if chartered economists are called upon to lead the way and to work side by side with various anti-graft agencies in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe in the computer jargon that say garbage in, garbage out. It's what to put in this institute that you will take out. I would like to think that you will have at least learned one or more things and because of this year induction or conference. If you have found it reasonable to keep Icen alive, survive, and to support the passage of our Charter B at the National Assembly, please help us to sustain it. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, our respected Chief of the Institute of Chartered Economists of Nigeria, in person of Professor Christopher Balogun. Please let a round of applause. We really appreciate you very well, sir. And you did never take much of our time today because I know you really summarize the whole message for us. We really appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now, we want to quickly go to the keynote address, which is going to be given to us by Dr. Shola Ishiobo, And immediately after that, we are going to have a conference a paper. We have two papers to be presented today, and that is going to be the role of professional chartered economics in nation building. That one is going to be taken by engineer Felix Valentine. And the other paper is the role of professional chartered accountants in nation building. And that one is going to be taken by Dr. Kenny Oteji. But before we go to that paper conference presentation, I want to quickly invite Dr. Shola Ishobo to please give us his own keynote address. Dr. Shola Ishobo, please. Do we have Dr. Shola Ishobo online? Admin, please confirm. DG is patiently waiting. National President is patiently waiting. Dr. Shola Ishobo, please come online. Engineer Felix should be on the alert.
Hello, my dog. Yes, sir.
Engineer Felix on the alert. Immediately after Dr. Shola Ishobo keynote address, Engineer Felix may please come on board to give us his own paper presentation, the role of professional chartered economics in nation building. Dr. Shola Ishobo.
He says it's not authorized.
Technical team, please unmute Dr. Shola Ishobo's microphone. His microphone is muted, so we can't hear him. Technical team.
Yes, sir.
Please unmute his microphone. Let's hear him speak. Dr. Shola Ishobo microphone is muted. Unmute it.
Please, technical team, take note.
Shola Ishobo, you have the mic.
Okay. Our president, DG, and my distinguished colleagues in the Icen. Welcome to this conference. And the topic for our discussion is the role of professional bodies in national development. Icen, ICANN, and ANA in focus. A professional body essentially is a group of individuals with the same or similar trade background and standard of knowledge and ethics to which they conform to and further their interests. And so the professional bodies involved in training and in competing professional skills and etiquette in their members to make them function effectively. And so with this, we found that every nation strives to see that professional bodies are incorporated in the theme of nation building. And so in our own country, Nigeria, we have about 95 professional bodies listed now that regulate the practices, activities of their members. And so with this background, we see some of these professional bodies like our own Icen, we have ICANN, we have ANA, we have NMA, NBA, and so on. And so these ones regulate the activities of their member, and update their knowledge from time to time so that they will be able to contribute meaningfully to the economic development of their nation. And of course, that is part of their nation building activity as well as the mandate. Body, in actual fact, individual in policy formulation as well as policy implementation and review. Definitely, professional body have technical expertise and skills in their own area. And so they are in the best opportune space of time to discuss issues affecting their own profession as it relates to the economic development of a particular nation. Now, professional bodies such as architects, engineers, carpenters, and some of them that involve field work are always conscious and active with synergic connection between them and government. And it is on this basis that nation building progresses. Now, the professional body train their member to update their skill from time to time and make sure that they are competent in coming out to at least produce a framework which the government and even individual will use to improve the economy as well as their various businesses. Professional body guide against fraudulent practices of their member. And so, with that regard, in that regard, they involve a network of leaky members to regularly inform them of emerging issues in the profession, and in things of discipline, they also fine-tune and incorporate them in matters that will bring disciplinary actions against them. And so this has been the role that professional body begin to play for economic development. Now, apart from the fact that they actually promote the welfare of their member, facilitate their social mobility through local and international conferences, they also sponsor researches. And some of these researches, which they use their own resources to carry out, and now bring the findings of such researches to government to bear on policy making, planning, as well as implementation. So this has been the main base by which professional body really participate in nation building. And of course, they have to work in collaboration with the government of any nation. Well, a country that does not really have professional body being incorporated in the scheme of things will be like somebody just cooking soup without even seasoning it with salt. And so the taste somehow will not be really palatable. And so we definitely know that the professional body faces some problems. And some of these problems, especially are the disposition of government to professional bodies in terms of registration, in terms of assistance by way of grant, which is done in civilized countries. And so you see that like in Nigeria, we have this problem that registration of professional bodies and assistance by way of grant is not readily available to them in Nigeria. Then we have poor funding due to the non-payment of annual dues by majority of member of professional body. And this one is really how it perform much more better than they do now. If donations, then the membership commitment is also another problem. And so members sometimes are not committed. Payment of dues in donation
I want to borrow money from you.
Hello, sir. Hello. Am I still on?
You are on,
Are
sir.
you?
You are on. You are on. You are on.
Yes. Am I?
You are
Am
still
I
on. You are
on?
still on. You are on. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead, sir. We are hearing you, sir.
Go ahead, sir. My dog.
Technical team, please unmute his microphone. His microphone is muted. Are you not watching? Icen host. Unmute his microphone.
Okay. So you are getting me now, sir. Are you getting me now? Hello.
Go ahead. Go
You are
ahead.
getting
We are
me now.
hearing you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
We said
Yes, you can hear you. We
poor
can hear you.
membership commitment in attending professional activities like the conferences, okay, workshops, group chats, community service, and other program organized by the professional body. So members do not really attend some of these things. In fact, like the one we are doing now, some members may not attend. That is lack of commitment. Then we have poor enforcement of professional ethics. Some professional body sometimes sweep some misconduct of their member under the carpet. And those are some of the things that affect us.
He's no longer online. He has been disconnected. He has to quickly reconnect. The doctor he has been disconnected. No. Anybody waiting? There's only one person waiting. those who are coming in, please mute yourself. Mute yourself.
So the aspect of our conclusion is that a professional body should be made mandatory for all members of a particular profession. Then a professional body should register and, of course, sanction every members and discipline them. Then professional bodies need to improve their finances and maintaining a list and details of their payment and open up an e-payment system to make payment easier for them so that they can, of course, pay their dues and other levies. So these are professional bodies in a national development. And of course, their partnership in national development is a thing that every country needs to encourage so that the country will move on and the professional body will equally be blessed with a lot of contribution to economic development to achieve the purpose for which they are a professional body. Thank you and God bless you. So, hello.
Hello, Mr. Kende. We are not hearing Mr. Kende. Is unmuted.
Okay. Hello.
You can go on, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I've concluded that professional bodies, professional bodies need to make it mandatory for members of a particular profession to join the association, and that professional bodies should register and ensure that they sanction and discipline every member without fear or favor. That professional bodies should improve their finances by maintaining a comprehensive register of members, provide a e-payment system where they can easily transfer funds to make sure that they pay their dues on other levies. And so, professional body has to partner with the government in the move towards nation building so that the role which they actually were established to play will be play, and the country will benefit from them essentially. So this is our discussion, and I thank you all for listening. Thank you and God bless you.
So Teje, go ahead. Technical team, or mute Mr. Otejian. Mike, we are not hearing him. You need to be watching the screen. One boots Keyindo Otejian microphone. We are not hearing him.
Yes, sir. Are you hearing us, sir?
Now, yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yes, sir. We really appreciate our Dr. Shola Ishobo for that paper. And I said earlier, I said, though, we have some little challenges, but at the same time, we really appreciate you and we understand what he has just given to us. Without wasting much of our time, we want to quickly go to the first paper of today, which is to be presented by Engineer Felix Valentine. The paper is the role of professional chartered economists in nation building. I believe you have Engineer Felix Valentine online. Engineer Valentine, please come up.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so much. I had an early difficult start, but please let him disable so that I can share my screen.
Okay. Engineer, please disable so that I can share his screen. Engineer,
so I can share my screen.
Yes, sir. Please let us know, Engineer, if that one is done.
Okay, you can share your screen. Share your screen, sir. You can share your screen. Hello, you can share your screen.
Okay, excellent. I think it's here now. Okay, good morning, DG and President and Council members and my distinguished economists. This morning, I will just take us through briefly the role of professional chartered economists in nation building. Contextually, it will discuss what a nation is, what nation building is, and then go down to economists, and then we have a conclusion. So this will be the order of presentation: models of nation building, stakeholders, the Nigerian nation, professional chartered economists in nation building, and then the conclusions and recommendations.
And there's paper presentation.
Okay, to start off briefly, I think the paper is in Word. Nation, what a nation is, because before we discuss about nation building, conceptually we need to look at what nation, and there are two school of thought of a nation: the ethnic concept and the civic concept. The ethnic concept technically looks at the aborigines, the beginners, those who came from the beginning without any political undertone. They have, shared history, culture, tradition, and sometimes religion. So they try to come together to form a nation. That is the ethnic concept. The civic concept, of course, is the modern concept of nation building, of nation, where you have people coming together, identifying a common system, institutions.
What's the idea?
And then, you know, you don't have to necessarily come from the same religion. You don't have to necessarily come from the same environment, but you just come. This is where you have people traveling from, you know, Nigeria to the US, you know, traveling, you know, the US who migrating. So that is the civic concept of a nation. Of course, sometimes there is a confusion between a nation and a state. A state is basically the instrumentation of governing, you know, the instrumentation, the systems, the apparatus to be able to govern a nation, how a nation is ruled. Now, nation and state. Building also, nation building is purely, you know, a shared sense. Shared sense. People come together, identify themselves. You know, it also requires, you know, the entire population, and that is why it's important that the concept of conflict is where there is war. You know, people are always in a state there in reconstruction. This war torn like Syria, they have to build a new nation out of an existing nation. Out of an existing nation. And what we have the evolutionary nation building model and the revolutionary. The evolutionary is the aborigines, the people who came from a past, who seem to share a past and gradually build up into a nation, gradually identify into a nation. They have a lot of commonalities. They have a lot of commonalities. They share a lot of things together. So that is the evolutionary. They come from a past. They come from somewhere that they know they need to come together. That is a nature, but the revolution, for instance, the American nation actually went through in a revolution before they became the United States of America. They have to, there is war, the North and South, they have to fight. Even up to today, some states like Texas, if you go to the state of Texas, in some part of Houston, if you go to the state of Texas, you will see they still put a flag, the lone state. They think they are still different from the American. That is the revolutionary model of nation building. But for us, the evolutionary is the main bedrock, is the framework of a traditional nation. You know, just look at it. Said it's an indigenous process of collective identity formation with a view to legitimizing power within a given territory. You know, they share defined tradition, institution, customs, national characteristics to support the nation to claim sovereignty and uniqueness. It's an outcome, it's a process. Nation building is a common sense of purpose, a sense of shared destiny, collective imagination of belonging. Please, can a lot of background noise? Can we mute our microphone? There's a lot of background noise. Nation building involves the harnessing of the potential of its human resources. It has to be something that everybody must contribute into. To create an enabling environment.
Unmute the people, unmute everyone.
Please, can we move because the background is fairly noisy.
What do you have?
Can we manage it, please?
Please, I feel the coordinator that is moderating this is not, doesn't know how to unmute people. You unmute everybody automatically now.
Yeah.
Can the host please mute everyone?
Mute everybody, please.
Okay, so in supporting the evolution,
all this one now official.
The host should mute everyone. If he can't do it, he should ask questions. Host, mute everyone.
Okay, Pascal, be done.
The host privately. Can you mute all the microphones except the presenter? Put everybody microphone except the presenter host. Are you not there?
The presenter can mute everyone. The presenter can mute everyone.
Can you make somebody else co-host?
Please,
Please make somebody else co-host. Dr. Felix. Doctor, sir. Dr.
Yes,
Felix.
sir.
You can mute other people because you are co-host. Mute other people.
You mute other people, doctor. You are the one making presentation. We are giving you a right. You can mute other people.
Next time when you want to do the setting.
Dr. Felix, you have the right of an host.
Okay, fine. No, I don't. I'm trying to get it right. I'm not.
Please go to meeting settings and mute everyone.
I'm trying to check that so that I don't cut off everybody.
You can cut off everyone except you.
Mute. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Dr. Felix. Dr. Felix.
I need to check.
Please go to meeting setting. Go to meeting setting.
Okay, I need to go out.
No, you don't need to go out.
Go to more. When you get to more, you will see meeting setting. Then in that meeting setting, you put it there that you click on the one that says mute upon entry, and everybody will be muted. Mute upon entry.
I enter already now. You should just say people cannot unmute themselves.
No, well, once you click on that, nobody will be able to mute it.
Okay, I think we've done that. Okay, I think it's fine now. I've done that. Okay, so coming back to nation building, nation building involves the harnessing of the potential of its human resource, reducing social and economic disparity that exists in the society, and creating an enabling environment where individuals can live freely and attain their best in life. If you can't achieve this, you don't have a nation. There's a lot of challenges. A lot of people think they are living in a nation, but until some of these conditions are met, you really do not have a nation. You just have a people that are living together without a shared purpose. The United Nations perspective, also gives some essential steps, such as security, which guarantees citizens in a safe environment. Political reform that involves building civil society, developing strong local and ensuring freedom of the press and other civil liberties. Economic reconstruction, strengthening legal institutions by ensuring functional and independent judiciary. Oh, I just hope we understand that we may probably not really have a nation. State building, of course, It's different from nation building. It's the task of building functioning states capable of fulfilling the essential attributes of a modern statute. Nation building is more of, the character of relation between citizens and their states. While state building is concerned more on the practical task of building and strengthening state institutions. State building also means establishing, re-establishing the strengthening of public structure in a given territory capable of delivering public goods. So while you have a nation, the functionals, now the states, you have the federal, the state, the local government, all the institutions must form. All of these is what is state building. All of these institutions, all of these structures must be harnessed and put together for a very harmonious, viral, economic, independent nation. Then who are the stakeholders of nation building? Nation building involves everybody. You have to get everybody involved. Everybody, that is why you have representative government. Everybody must be involved. Everybody must be involved. It requires a democratic participation of everybody within the nation in order to build the society, economy, the polity, which will meet the basic needs of the people, so that they are not driven by poverty, inequality, unemployment on the one hand, and by a desire to compete for resources and power, either internally or in the international system. To recognize nation builders are the core group and the non-core groups. The core groups are also subject to democratic majority. This is actually, in a democratic society, the electors, the people who vote, the people who decide, and then the ruling political elite. Now, these are the smaller numbers, but sadly, they are the nation, while the majority is not the nation. And that is the challenge we have in some, third world countries, Africa and Nigeria, where the smaller group of the political elites overrides and subjects the democratic majority, and they decide to run a system that is purely political. Then the non-core group involves anybody who is not part of the original, structure, but yet is willing to participate, is willing to submit, is willing to agree, is willing to subscribe to a nationhood, is willing to subscribe. They might not necessarily be, Nigerian, they might not necessarily be, Lagosians, but they are willing to submit and agree to form, the nation. Other stakeholders, of course, in modern day and even in classic, you have the military. You cannot really take out the military in nation building because of security and then cohesion and then, ensuring that there is order. Then the NGOs. And of course, where you have the conscious agents like the engineers, the architects, and then our group like the economists, they all form part of the stakeholders of nation building. Now, the Nigerian nation, I decided to put this together to show us that there was no Nigeria. This is at a map of 1625, where you see, these are all individual, isolated nations. These are all independent people across. So there is no place called Nigeria. And so how did Nigeria come about? How did we become Nigeria? Did we agree to form a nation? Were we forced into a nation? Was our sovereignty stolen? And if you look at what is going on, we probably didn't start the formation of Nigeria through the evolutionary process where people sit together, people come together, people discuss and say, you know what, rather than these scattered elements, why don't we become one people? Nigeria never had that. And in fact, Nigeria also did not really enjoy the revolutionary, where people also out of conflict decided that they want to be a nation. The aberration is the amalgamation, where they were forced to become a nation. You know, so this is what you find, you know, as far back as 1901, before the amalgamation. You know, you see there are different people. If you look at this other map, you see that we never were one people. You see the measure, it's already spread. You have the Yoruba spreading, you have, you know, they came all those places. But then someone have to force an amalgamation, force a country out of this geographic location called Nigeria. First, you have the northern, the colony, all of these never sat together to say, let's become a nation. And then what do we have in 2020? We have 36 states. And that tells you the identity crisis. And then in 2014 conference, we have a proposed 54 states. That tells you they are looking for a nation. They are looking for identity. These people, and it will be more, fragmentation will be more. We have 774 local government areas, and I can assure you the identity crisis still exists until we come together to say, when you read the Constitution of Nigeria, you will hear we the people. And sometimes I ask myself, who are the we the people? You know, I strongly identify the Constitution. So these didn't go through a proper way of forming a nation. But, and that is, we are discussing this. Then briefly, the state of the economy is a reflection of the crisis and confusion of lack of cohesion as a nation. You know, this is the GDP growth. As here you can see, the last one in 2020, where we have, you know, Nigeria, I mean, it's going to be a tough time for us to come out. You can see the growth rates in the negative, about 6%. You know, we just came out of a recession in 2016, marginally in 2017, and then struggling at 1%, 2%, which those of us who are economists, I have a big challenge with Nigerian growth rate, because frankly, as a developing country, we should never grow like Europe, that is, stagnation. We are not. We don't have power. We don't have roads. We don't have hospitals. We don't have schools. We don't have mechanized agriculture. So our growth rate should be like every other growth rate of 8%, 10%. When China was growing at 14%. But we are growing at 1%, and they are happy that we are growing at 1%. That is the growth rate of developed, advanced, technologically advanced, economically advanced nation, where there is very little, you know, room for additional growth. But you still find the United States growing at 3.2. So that is amazing. How did they do it? Technology innovation, creating new frontiers. But Nigeria is happy growing at 1-2%. Of course, our GDP, you can see COVID. How do we do? Because the oil that is the major has been strangulated. These are all the challenges the economists need to be looking at. Of course, our debt profile. You know, the debt profile is increasing. Nigeria is living on debt. And then the challenge is when you begin to see, you know, inflationary trends. You see our inflationary trend is, you know, I don't know how we can manage this economy, except the economists come into play and take charge. We need to really play our role. It's terrible. That is, we are suffering as a nation. And then, of course, on this screen, you will see our debt is, you know, almost 80 billion. 80 billion. And then we are servicing debt service, you know. Also, debt service revenue data of first quarter show that, you know, we are using almost 99%. 99. So, I mean, if you are using 99% of your revenue to service your debt, you are in trouble. You are definitely in trouble. Now, one of the shocking things was that despite the revenue shortfall because of the crude oil, you know, we are a mono crude oil. The only revenue we generate is from crude oil. All of the effort to diversify the economy hasn't really paid off. And this is where I continue to subscribe to the economics family, that we have a role to play. A country that is endowed, a country that has everything, human capital, everything. But the shocking thing is, despite the revenue shortfall, government still spends their budgeted allocation. And the problem is, how could they do that? How could government do that? In terms of security, insurgency, you know, this is one of the criteria of a failed state. Nigeria is now number 3 globally ranked terrorist country. We are number 3. We are worse than Syria. We are worse than Somalia. We are worse than Yemen. There is no government in Yemen, but we are worse than Yemen. I mean, you need to understand how painful it is. You understand? We are worse than South Sudan. You know, so I don't understand how we are surviving. And in terms of terrorist deaths, look at how many people are dying in Nigeria. There are 2,000 people. You know, just every day we report, and all these are global index. They are global index, and that is why some of us who are into real-time investments, these are that is why foreign direct investment is not coming, because nobody trusts you. I mean, a country where you are almost taking over from Iraq. You want to beat Afghanistan. You want to be number 1. Corruption, you're on the top. Security, you're on the top. Risk, you're on the top. You know, so it's really challenging. You know, for 10 years, the Nigerian authority, they've not been able to put Boko Haram. As we are dealing with Boko Haram, you know, we now have banditry and kidnapping in the north. You understand? So it's terrible. It's terrible. The country is in a major pressure, and I believe that role to play. Of course, I decided to put this screen to let you go around there. No, I didn't put them because they are international people. They become global. The Fulani herdsmen, the recent bandits, and of course the Niger Delta militants. So you can see the Fulani herdsmen in the middle belts, in other areas, the bandits in the corner, the Niger Delta in the south. The country is in siege. And then in definition of a failed state is a state that cannot provide minimum infrastructure, and Nigeria is almost in that language. And so there has been efforts to develop national development plan. Of course, we all know the 2020 with a noble objective, make Nigeria the 20th largest economy by 2020. I don't know how that's. Make Nigeria an international finance center. But, you know, make Nigeria African hub, financial hub. Make Nigeria this, make Nigeria that. The question I ask myself is, of course, we know the first development plan 1962, 1968, second development plan 1970. We are economists. So when you read and study this and then you read the 2020, you will not ask yourself, why are we this intelligent without the force to implement our intelligence? Why are we so good in writing and speaking, but we cannot implement what we are thinking? It's terrible. Now, you know, 2020 is finished. This is already September. So all of these are visions, and they are moving the vision now into another era. And this is why all of us have a role to play. You and I have a role to play. The federal government inaugurated a technical working group to develop 2020, 2025, and then 2026 to 2030. is terrible. And then Nigerian Agenda 2050. All these are paperwork. And then they are going to sit together and come. And let me also, do you know a country as small as Namibia? I mean, Rwanda. Rwanda is terrible. You can download their development plan. They have a 3-year, they have a 10, they have a 50-year. You can download it, and it's on public. And then recently, I stumbled on the leadership of Africa, the presidents, the leadership on the continent that are moving towards a first world economy. People who are pushing their country into first world economy. People who want to move away from African economy, from third world economy, from developing economy. And do you know what? Rwanda is one. Ghana is one. Botswana is one. Nigeria is not on the list. So it's the onus is on us. They want to look at what I said. The aim of this all-inclusive approach is to have a true national, comprehensive national development plan where we use our diversity as our strength. These are all grammar, because this is the same grammar we've been speaking. So why is it not working? Why is it not operating? This is why the role of the professional chartered economics come into being. I will not bore you with all this, basic economic, what economic is and what economic thoughts. We as economists, we need to wake up to the challenge that all of these are economic numbers. The world is run on monetary terms. Everything is denominated on money, and the people that understand money are the economists, and not the traders in area market or in our nation market. They don't understand it. The people that understand what money is, how to spend, how to invest, how to do all this are the economists. And our role is critical that we begin to come out and speak about it. Speak about it. I like this definition. Contemporary definition, Kumalo 2012 attempted a contemporary definition of economics for the 21st century knowledge-based society as a study of how humans use knowledge to identify resources and use these scarce resources to create, using knowledge and commodities, and distribute them among people. So his own, it's amazing. So his idea, following from this, said that economic study is not about how humans should behave. He said that is the subject of philosophers, but that economics must deal strictly with analyzing the results of policy, laying solid theoretical groundwork on analysis of commodities. Economics, therefore, especially in this 21st century, are concerned with the evolution and application of ever-increasing new knowledge in processing and producing new commodities, new energy, new transportation, new ways, which will all stimulate new demand. And in the long run, once there are new commodities, a new short-run behavior of knowledge kicks off. I love this. This is amazing. This is the 21st century definition of economics. We have to be digitally, artificial intelligence, machine language, a lot. Now, COVID, I tell people that COVID is a blessing in disguise. COVID is probably the best that has happened to this world. COVID is redefining the global space, and economists cannot complain. Do you know that 16 people in the world, in the United States, their net worth is more than 1 trillion? I monitor Forbes report almost every day. Elon Musk just climbed to 100 billion. Where is Dangote? He's nowhere. He's struggling with 7 billion. Amazon man is 200 billion. He just hit his 200 billion under COVID. And Facebook is hitting 100 billion. So these are technology. These are innovation. Warren Buffett. These are, so what is going on? Economics is no longer, the classical demand and supply, market forces and all that. It has become technology oriented, using applicable, innovating, fast forwarding frontier knowledge to be able to create new products, new services. Classical sales law says, supply creates its own demand. A book on, by this, the Blue Ocean Strategy. You have to innovate a new product to go out of the red ocean and become a product leader. Economics is now technology. Economics is now artificial intelligence. And this is where we need to come in to play our role. Of course, type of economics, I won't bore you with this. We have the public sector, we have the academic, and we have the private sector. So we are distributed into these three sectors, but we need to help our friends, those of us who are in ministries. All of these have to apply, but bureaucratic bottleneck will not allow you to play a role. Of course, the academic, economists, researchers, and of course, those of us in the private sector, every day continue to look at how to, bring economics to bear in the industry and in all the different sectors. The professional economics, I like this. A professional economist, it's not enough for you to be an economist. You have to be a professional. And according to the Australian Council of Profession, a profession is a disciplined group of individuals who are there to ethical standards, who hold themselves out as and are accepted by the public as possessing special knowledge and skills in a widely recognized body of learning derived from research, education, and training at a high level, who are prepared to apply this knowledge and exercise these skills in the interest of others. Inherent in the definition of a profession is that a code of ethics governs the activities of his profession. Such codes require behavior and practice beyond the personal moral obligation of an individual. They define and demand high standard of behavior in respect to the services provided to the public and in dealing with professional colleagues. A professional economist. So it's not enough to have a PhD in economics. It's not enough to work in an economic institution, but molding ourselves to become professionals. Now, of course, professional economics, these sets of standards are frequently agreed. Accountability, confidentiality, fiduciary duty places the need of clients before their own honesty, integrity, law-abiding, loyalty, remain committed to the profession, objectivity, not swayed or influenced by biases, respect, and transparency. These are a new nation. That is why, I see that the economics people, hello? Hello? Hello?
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, no. I was getting a call from the DG. I don't know, he wanted to tell me something. Then you have the professional economist, the professional chartered. A chartered professional is a person who has gained specific level of skill or competence in a particular field of work, which has been recognized by the award of a formal credential, is considered a mark of professional competency and is awarded mainly by chartered professional bodies and learned society. And then, of course, differentiation, specialized knowledge, acknowledged professionalism, these are all what come into a professional. Chartered status is a symbol of technical competence and signifies a public commitment to professional standard. Attaining chartered standard is challenging and takes commitment. We are professional chartered economists. And this is where we think we have a role to play. Conclusions and recommendations. Given the scope of economics and the professional skills and integrity of the professional chartered economists, this paper submits that they are better placed. Listen, I'm done. Oh, please. No. Okay, I'm almost done so that I can come out of this whole business. I'm doing the conclusion now so that I can hand it over to Yashester. So the thing is this, given the scope of economics and the professional skills and integrity of professional chartered economics, these papers submit that they are better placed, we are better placed to build a viral and progressive nation out of Nigeria. And in view of our geographical spreads, you know, we are in that enviable place of history to prefer pragmatic solution towards building the Nigerian nation. And so we must, as a matter of urgency and priority, see how to engage the federal government on the ongoing medium and long-term development plans and make it our presence and contribution felt. We have to really begin to now put ourselves together so that we can become an institution where they cannot but invite us by themselves. They have to call our house at midnight that they need our advice. We have to set up committees. We have to set up people who can take this into the next level. And I think we have the people, engage various levels of government on recommendations. We don't have to just do study. We don't have to just do research and publish in our magazine. We must knock at the door of government with our findings, and they will soon recognize. And finally, we need to collaborate with academia so that we can bring the academia and the industry together so that in building this Nigeria, we can become a viral, economic, and democratically, you know, resilient nation called Nigeria. I want to thank every one of us for listening, and I thank you for the time. God bless everyone. Thank you very much.
Please, can we get the slides of this presentation, sir?
Sorry?
The slides of this presentation, can we get it, sir? Can we get it?
Slides.
Yeah, I want to
support the motion that we should get the flag, please. Engineer Dr. Felix, I appreciate this eye-opening. You actually taught us a pure economics now. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Prof, thank you very much for the presentation. It was a very detailed one. I want to support the motion for the circulation of this presentation so that we can take our time and study this very well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Look, I'm handing over to you. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Hello, Engineer Felix. I think you can see people wanted that paper presentation because it's fully loaded and it has a lot of. So I really appreciate you very much, sir. And just a very big thank you to you, Engineer Felix. Thank you very much, sir. Well, let's quickly move to the next paper and.
Okay, fine, no problem. I'm just trying to go back. Don't worry, let me do that.
That is the role of professional.
My system, I'm struggling with my system. Let me get it right.
Hello? Hello?
alarm phone is cracking. The network. This is what? No, try to let you get them now. Full chat. Thank you for like my own. That's screen the characters. So organize my system. Otherwise, if we charge it 5 hours to minutes and it has an inbuilt battery. I mean, it's very strong. So they have supported mood, man. They supported mood. They say the system, maybe they are going for good. These are all. It's like if I come, in fact, this place, the green, see this place. They say we should leave the office. But they know that we are in the office, we are not doing it from home. I don't know, Nigeria, they are very smart.
So, engineer.
So that's someone will be doing it from home.
Are we there?
Yes, sir. We are hearing you, sir.
Okay, well done, ma. Yes, sir. We want to go to the next paper, and that is the role of professional chartered accountants in nation building. This one is going to be taken by Dr. Kenny Oteje. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kenny Oteje with a round of applause. Dr. Kenny Oteje.
President and other members of the council. Are you please hearing me?
What is macroeconomics?
The engineer, please.
Once, 2 times. The economists that go after what and what. Why is it? That one is the last one. Is thank you. I want to succeed it. Will keep on. No problem. No problem. Thank you.
Engineer, please. You should allow me to share my paper.
Bye bye. Bye. Only, I said, only election office. Income that come out of that place. Every person will share every finish it.
Allow me to share my place.
Nobody's there.
Please, if you're not presenting, you should mute your mic. The noise is too much.
The engineer should allow.
Sorry, where are we? Where are you going from?
Yeah, we are going for the second paper now, but it's but the engineer.
Hello?
So that,
Hello?
Then please, if your people are queuing up, allow them inside.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
We are hearing
Hello.
you,
Can you
sir.
please allow me
Hello.
to share
Good
my
morning, sir. Are we on meeting? Are we on meeting? Because we cannot view whatever again.
Can you allow me share my paper?
They say the host.
You have been allowed, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Please, can you allow me to share my paper, please? Engineer.
Sir, you are allowed to share. The host has been switched as switched to
It's
you.
showing host disabled participants screen sharing. Allow me now. Host disabled participants screen sharing. The engineer has not allowed me in.
Engineer, please shift. Engineer, shift the host from the former speaker to the new speaker, please.
I have transferred the host back. So the host is with the text guy, with the Icen people. It's been transferred. It's not with me anymore.
Yes, I'm telling the host of the institute to transfer from you to him.
No, okay. But I have done my transfer to the institute host already.
Okay, sir.
Let him continue.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Kehinde Uteje. I'm here to present the paper, The Role of Professional Chartered Accountants in Nation Building. There was a quote by Modi that a chartered accountant is not working just to add and subtract numbers between 0 to 9, but he or she should feel that he or she is playing an important role in building the economic infrastructure to the nation, most especially at this period of our COVID-19. Who is an accountant? According to Susan Davis, 2015, an accountant is a person who performs financial action, accuracy, recording, analysis, and presentation of government, business, organization, or company's financial statement. You can see with this definition, it is more than debit and credit. Collection of information, analyzing the information, recording information, and presenting the information to their various sectors. The accountant usually has a variety of administrative roles within government or a company's operation. In a smaller business, an accountant's role may consist of primarily financial data collection, entry and reporting generation. Middle to larger size, companies may utilize an accountant as an advisor or financial interpreter or financial advisor or financial analyst who may present the company's financial data to people within and outside the organization. Generally, accountants can also deal with third parties such as vendors, customers, and financial institutions. Therefore, the role of the role of accountants in nation building is so numerous than debit and credit, as I earlier said. When a company is built or started, an accountant is needed. In a home, an accountant is needed. In an organization, an accountant is needed. It is not only the debit they are looking at, and not only the credit. They want to look at how have you spent this money? Of what importance is this money? Where has it gone to? Who approves what? And they also want to look at, they want to block the necessary loopholes that could bring down an organization. Linda Ray, 2015, also look at an accountant from another perspective. It says, overseeing the preparation of all financial documents related to the organization in implementing financial strategies. If an organization wants to go into any project, an accountant is involved. In a nation like Nigeria, we have the Accountant General of the Federation. It ensures that all agencies, units, get what is required of them, and not only allocating the resources to them. He also wants to know how this money has been spent. Carries out an accuracy of analyzing the expenses to the detail, whether necessary approval has been gotten before a particular money is spent. Therefore, she went further to say, as a chief accountant, you may sit on the upper management team to play an integral part in developing long-term goals. In a ledger business, you might also supervise a team of financial professionals. That is an accountant for you. As you are having an economist, you are having an accountant. No nation can survive. No nation can stand without an accountant being employed to oversee the expenditure. In summary, and be a member of Icen or ANAN before you are appointed to be an accountant general, state or financial accountant or chief financial officer of an organization. You must be a member of these two major bodies recognized presently in Nigeria. Now, organizations and governments are looking at the role of accountants as being germane in this era of our COVID-19. In the sense that they don't only want to allocate or give resources, but why are we spending so much? What are the importance? What are the reasons you are spending this? They carry out a due diligence on the resources or expenditures being made. You must have a skill, knowledge, and expertise tested by examination. And it must have been going for a mandatory and continuous professional educational conduct. He must be committed to the values of accuracy, honesty. That is, an accountant must be honest, he must be accurate, he must have a sound integrity in carrying out his objective as an accountant. in any sector he or she finds himself. He must be also transparent. You will see that if there is a problem in a nation, they will ask the accountant to come and give reports. Why has this agency or this ministry or this organization spent so? It is from the accountant we have auditors. An auditor cannot just fly from the moon without being an accountant. He must pass through some rudimental examinations and experience to perform these functions, subject to oversight by a professional body with disciplinary powers. Where he fails in his objectivity, transparency, integrity, these professional bodies, Icen and Anand, check such up. Even the certificate can be withheld by the body. Then, what is the role of a professional chartered accountant in nation building? Chartered accountants not only deal with debit and credit of the account, but they play a very important role at a big level in nation building. They are the foundation base of any nation. The auditor of a nation will not have anything to audit without the accountants. The auditor in an organization are only there to look at rules and regulation, whether any expenses has been approved, who approved what. But the accountant looks at every expenses. Why are we spending this? Of what important is it to the organization or to the government? If there are loopholes, the accountant will be held responsible. He will also make necessary actions to ensure those loopholes are closed. Therefore, the nation, chartered accountants are foundation base of the nation and utilize the financial expertise. The nation gets right direction in various financial and economic related measures. A nation can get a right direction, a right place with the importance of an accountant in the nation. That is why before the accountant general of the federation or of the state or of any organization is being employed, such person goes through serious or various screenings. We want to see how expertise, what are the roles, what are the importance, what are the input that person is bringing to the organization or to the nation. It is not only approving expenses, but carrying out necessary steps. Why are we spending this? Of what need? Is it in the budget? If it is not in the budget, it can be withheld. Therefore, an accountant plays series of roles. One, accountability. They are held accountable for whatever happens to an organization. That is why you see in the country of ours in Nigeria, as it applies to other countries, accountants, every agency or every ministry submits their budgets or their expenditures or their flows, cash flows, to the accountants before it is being approved by the necessary committees or authorities. That is why anything that happens to the fund of a country, the accountants are held accountable. What other roles do they carry out? They prevent corruption. They carry out forensic accounting. They carry out forensic auditing. They are also involved in taxation. Accountants give back to taxation. They are protectors of public funds, interests, foreign currency management. They are economic planners. If companies, banks wants to merge, wants to consolidate, accountants are involved. If any government or individual or companies wants to invest into any company, accountants are called in. Because their expertise, their investment idea, their accounting idea is needed in that area. For any economic growth, an accountant is involved. That is why they are also called advisors to investors. If any government or any company wants to invest in another business, an accountant is brought in. They want to look at some areas like accounting rate of return, accounting ratios. Should we invest in this company? What is the possibility of we recouping our investment? They look at the investment appraiser. They carry out investment appraiser analysis, which a business manager cannot do. If you want to start a business, if you want to design a business plan, inside the business plan, there is a place for the accountants to have their inputs. The profit and loss, the cash flow statement, the accountant's input is needed. They want to see whether the business you want to invest or you want to go in is profitable. What is the payback period? What is the present value of the money we are committing to this investment? These are areas the accountants look at. You will believe me, you will believe that the role of accountant is so germane that it goes beyond debit and credit. They manage the fund. They monitor the fund. They ensure that tax evasion is avoided. They also assist in tax planning. Accountants provide requisite knowledge to business entities, which helps in smooth functioning of business. I've said about business globalization. It said in the era of globalization, business entities, if they want to invest in other countries, they want to buy shares from other countries in the world, an accountant is brought in to look at the laws guiding the various companies with respect to the Foreign Exchange Management Acts. A professional accountant, therefore, helps a business entity to deal with all these matters. A chartered accountant has expertise in these laws, and he is guided these matters. Foreign currency and investors, they also help in regulating the foreign currency by ensuring swap contracts, forward contracts, future contracts. This does not mean they are taking the role of a professional chartered economist. They work hand in hand together. A rational investor wants to invest in those stocks portfolios which have chances of giving maximum return. This is the rule. And it is only the accountant that can give them a genuine input whether or not to invest in such, whether or not there is going to be a massive return in the investment. Corruption prevention. If there is corruption in a country or in an organization, accountants will be asked to look into the books. And in looking into the books, they want to look at what are the board approved. What is the level of the improvement of expenditure given to the MD? In the absence of the MD, what is the level of expense approval given to the accountant themselves? Therefore, they ensure that there are minimization of corruption following the various rules and regulations that creates them to be an accountant. The next important area in which chartered accountants' role is important in nation building is preventing corruption, malfunctioning, window dressing. You know, they'll say a lot of people, most of the accounts we have nowadays are window dressing. A genuine, a transparent accountant prevents window dressing, and they detect and prevent fraud in government and companies and so on. They also protect the public interest. In the case of professional accountants and businesses, they've maintained high standard, helping organizations. How did they maintain high standard? They want to ensure that investors' investments or interest or the public are protected by ensuring that any shareholders fund is being used as stated or stipulated in the guideline of the organization or in the agreement reached. They also carry out forensic accounting job. That is, looking at evidence of any criminal activities or financial records. Where are these criminal activities coming in? Where a debtor A has paid, somebody using the money of debtor A for debtor B, they look at the financial records. When was this payment made? At what date? When was this money lodged into the account? Thank God for technology. That transfer is easy. Gone are the days when cash is being received. There are a lot of manipulations. But within this technological time, this has been eradicated or minimized. They also carry out forensic auditors. That is, an accountant is also an auditor. They ensure the integrity and transparency of financial statement by activating for fraud, identifying areas of risk, that is, where risk could occur, and the relevant associated risk that fraud could occur. A good fraud prevention program will now be instituted into the system, preferred by the accountants. So, by helping companies to prevent and deter fraud, the forensic auditors can help to establish a comprehensive corporate governance policy. And this is where an accountant comes in. the person that plays the role of forensic auditor are the accountants, because they are expertise on this level. The eminent roles of professional chartered accountant needs. The professional accountants are needed in various areas. Is it manufacturing industry, oil and gas industry, processing industry? They are also involved in economic planning, agricultural, organic farming industry, seed supply, banking industry, steel and mining industry, government ministries, packing and distribution industry, tax planning. These are various organizations or industries that accountants are needed. There is no organization, there is no government that will not need the importance or the role or the need of an accountant. If you want to set up an organization, if you want to invest in any business, you need the expertise knowledge of an accountant. If you establish an organization today, you must employ an accountant. Some are called chief financial officer, some are called chief financial controllers, some are called investment analysts, some are called analysts. They are all accountants, no matter the name you call them. If an individual establishes a company today, he needs an accountant. Why? To guide income and expenditure of the organization. In conclusion, traditionally, the role of the accountant in business involves implementing and maintaining operational controls. They put in place control measures that will guide the organization, that will guide the expenses or expenditure, that will guide the revenue coming in into the organization, that will guide the records, the financial records of the organization, providing analytical support for strategic planning and decision making. If a budget is prepared today, who prepares the budget? It's not an ordinary person, it's the accountant. When a financial statement is prepared, the person that interprets, the person that defends, the person that reports are the accountants. Therefore, every organization, even government, relied on the accountant's reports. The accountant role, the role of the accountant in business is therefore critical to the financial health, soundness of the organization, as well as the reputation and credibility of the business organization and its management. If any expenditure is going on, if any expenses rather is going on, accountant wants to know who approves what. Why are we spending so much on this? Is it in the budget? Does the board approve such amount? And when the auditor comes in, these are things they want to look at. Therefore, in every country, for a nation to be sound, for a nation to maintain a good operational system, in the areas of revenue and expenditure, an accountant's role is important. Chartered accountants are the backbone of the nation's economy, and due to their financial experts, they can guide the nation by suggesting various economic and financial measures to uplift the deteriorating Nigerian economy and boost up the economy as well as industrial growth exclaimed. If any country or organization is deteriorating, they have to look at the financial reports. They have to look at the financial records. Who looks at this? The accountants. They are the one to provide solutions, areas that government can guide against overspending and other areas. At this level, I will say thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kenny Oteje. That's a beautiful paper presentation arguing as regards the role of professional chartered accountants in nation building. And he has rightly said that actually, though the two are not overlapping, and an accountant is not taking the role of an economist, which is impossible too. We know that they can never take our role, but at the same time, we work hand in hand. Thank you very much. Please let's give a round of applause for Dr. Kenny Oteje for that paper presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. Kenny Oteje. Thank you very much. Now, we don't know, our DG will come in now to know if there is any question or response to the two papers presented under 5 to 10 minutes before we move to the second section, that is section B, which is induction proper. So I will allow my DG to come in at this stage.
Let them take out the sharing.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, can you hear me now?
We are hearing you, sir.
Okay, yes. I think the participants are free now to ask questions. Dr. Felix is still around and Dr. Ken is very much around. So they can go ahead to do it.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is James.
Hello, please hold on a little bit. Hello, are you hearing me? Hello, engineer.
I'm hearing.
Engineer, please.
Supporting people are queuing to enter, the engineer should allow them in to make this induction robust. Supporting people are on the voting room. I will advise the engineer allows them in to make this induction and conference robust.
Hello, sir. Dr. TJ, you are the one to, you are the host. You are the one now to admit everybody and then change your whole situation. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Dr. Oteje is now the host. Can you please admit everybody and return the host?
Hello, Frank. I'm on a conference on the web. I got
The engineer is the one host, is the host.
You are the host now. We gave you a host when you asked to share.
Yes, I've
You can transfer the control.
Make tech support, make it host. Just click on participant, you click on more, you see Icen tech support.
I said, what are we going to do? Is it community or company?
What do you say?
Company is going on what basis? He said he's going with the king to do what?
Icen tech support. Then make me host.
I said, I'm not very good at emergency. I like to
You are the host.
You make all this.
You are the host. I gave you the host when you were sharing screen.
I like to prepare myself before I go so that I can take all challenges. So,
okay, can you please give me the step?
All the details. I said, where the
click on participants.
So that people like me, I can plan because I don't know who I'm going to. I can't just follow you. I'm not part of the community structure.
Okay, I'll click on admit all.
Click on admit all. First of all, to admit all, then go to participant and then click on make me host. That is make Icen tech support host.
Come again.
Participant. Have you admitted all?
I've admitted everybody.
Good.
Then go to find participant and look for Icen tech support.
Community is like a leader. They can go and say anything they like and get.
Find participants.
I can. That is, I told them that.
Icen tech support. Look for me.
Not go in the name of community and
then you see more. You see mute and you see more. Then click on more to make me host. Make me host.
Okay.
So that you can relinquish your host right to me.
Okay. You want to get the host? Yes.
Part of the community pressure group on government.
Are you okay?
He has to understand that.
Yes, thank you.
The reason was a different platform altogether. We thought that. That's why, do you know what? Now the financing that we are going to. You see,
hello, please, those discussing behind the background, can they mute their mic? The noise is too much.
You can. Dr. TJ, you can unmute yourself. Okay.
So the question can continue. I can see Dr. Eshobo, and I can see Dr. Felix is there. Dr. Oteje is still very much around.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, my name is Chris Ebari. Yes, good morning. I want to ask a question on the last paper that was presented, where detailed and elaborate the roles of accountants and in nation building. And if we want to juxtapose that with what is happening in the country, an accountant is in every organization and in every company, but yet we see a lot of fraud, mismanagement going on. Can we say is a failure of accountant in those organizations that we are experiencing today, or a compromise of the accountant? And I want the presenter to speak to this. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please. Can I ask a question?
Hello.
My name is James. My name is James. Can I ask a question?
Please continue.
Hello.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
please. I wanted to find out. I wanted to ask this. If you look at a chartered economist and a chartered accountant, is it possible for a chartered economist to fit into the role of a chartered accountant? Please, I'd like an explanation to this. What difference, or do you necessarily must you have the two, or can you have one? Can two of them operate separately? Thank you.
Any other question?
Okay, this is Dr. Friday. Let me ask a question. Hello?
Go ahead. Hello.
Okay, just to support the last speaker, the motion he raised now, but I want to twist it a bit. Can we let it just intermarry so that we can have a better, since the two professions are interwoven?
If there is no any other question, I will take on the second question, where they said with the role or the importance of accountants in nation building very. Yes, the essence or the importance of the minimize this fraud is to put in place necessary controls. And where this control, it is therefore the responsibility and even the audit account ensure that the rules and regulations or policies established by the organization are followed to the letter. Ensure that you can see what recently happened, what we are witnessing. It is not the accountant that is defrauding, but it is the accountant that are pinpointing most of this fraud that are happening, because people are not following the strict controls established or put in place by the chartered accountants. What the accountant needs to do is to ensure that at every moment, either quarterly, not waiting till the end of the year, to report any issues that go viral or at variance with what is stated in the budget or expenditure plan of the government or any organization. It is very, very difficult for an accountant to defraud. Because it is their role to ensure they monitor the control put in place for any expenditure. Have I answered your question? That paper.
Well, let's leave it at that, sir. Let's continue. Thank you.
I know where you are going to. The second question says, I know where you are heading to. Hardly do accountants individually, defraud. Hardly. Because
but they can be compromised.
Are you an accountant?
I guess they were compromised if it's happened. Because from what you...
Have you ever been compromised? That means you have lost your integrity and honesty and transparency in posting you.
I'm speaking based on the qualities that you enumerated. If the accountants we adhere to those and do their function diligently, most of those frauds, monumental frauds, will not happen in this country in all those organizations. So I'm thinking that there could be a compromise of the accountants that we have in those organizations, because it's the external bodies that will come in to detect those frauds that happen in those organizations, not the accountant in-house.
That's very true, sir.
So on that note, we also want to know the regulatory bodies, are they doing anything about those accountants that are noticed not to be doing their job diligently in those organizations? Because if we continue like this, and I've not heard an accountant being, well, I don't know if you can cite an instance of an accountant being
penalized and certificates withdrawn. Some have been penalized and certificates withdrawn.
Well, they might not be the one in the glare, in our own glare. So in all these organizations where we are having issues, you can name them, the parastatals, in Nigeria, you can name them. But the accountants, the financial auditors, they are still there. Thank you, sir.
I quite agree with you. That is why in the policy of Icen and Anan, they said where an organization finds any of their members, such members should be reported to the institutes, and the council takes necessary action, which they are doing. It is not only a paperwork, and that's our saying.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's move on.
The other question from Dr. and Mr. James, the role of accountants, and they look at them as being interwoven. The accountants, as earlier defined, they look at they collect data. They look at transparency and accountability. Planning. They assist the growth of an organization. But when it comes to core economic planning, core economic decisions, foreign exchange decision, global that involve economic issues. The economists are involved. They are called upon. If you see the position of finance, that position should be held by because he's not only dealing with Nigeria, he's dealing with global matters. The account interpret, look at the integrity of the report presented. But the economics go wider than that. There are three variables that control an economy. Economics look at the interest rate, the foreign exchange. Interest rate, foreign exchange, and the stock market, and other global issues. If there is a trend in the movement of businesses or economic issues, the economics are being invited in. Thank God for our institutes. At least our voice is being heard today in this nation. If countries are going down, economists are invited in to look at areas that can assist the economy to grow. It is not the work of an accountant. Despite the fact they analyze records, despite the fact they interpret records, the economists looks wider than that. The economists even gave birth to the accountants. Even though I'm an accountant, I'm also an economist. Therefore, the role of economics is more wider than the role of an accountant. Based on what Dr. Engineer Felix Elias stated in his paper, you can see the role of an economist. You may be looking at it as being interwoven. The economics function is more than that of an accountant. I'm sure with the assistance of our DG, a paper will come out, a template will come out to look at how the economics will help to grow the nation. Maybe before the year runs out. Have I answered your question?
Let me add something to it, Ken.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. You know, they are the same. One is the economies requires the accountant to put the data together. The economics is, if you look at the two in terms of a leader and a manager, the accountant manages the inflow. The economist is a businessman, is a policy person. It's the business that goes. Economics is everything. Economics is everything. You need an accountant. So if I bring it to the natural state, the accountant is the mother, the wife. The economics is the husband. And so they cannot be separate. They cannot be independent. You need an economics need an accountant. An accountant needs an economist. And you have to be in the same business, because the economics is so wide that anytime he's trying to engage in business analysis, it will require an accountant to help him. Economists can't really do a retrospective analysis without an accountant. You can do forecast, but whenever you want to deal with retrospections, you need an accountant to help you the past, that you can project the future. People at this level needs to see the way they are not in conflict, they are complementary. Just understanding who goes first and who comes later. That is the accountant and the economist. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It is.
We can't hear you.
Shobo, you are the one making presentations.
No, summary.
The summary. You are on, sir.
So, Gani, hello? Hello?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Talking about going to the induction proper, since we have finished with the conference, is it not? The first part of it, so that the president will give his address.
The program today, the sheet.
Okay.
I didn't see it here.
Oh. Okay. I think the Dr. Ladipo to anchor is so that we follow the program so that we can conduct it here. Read the code of the professional conduct. I think our Obong is around, Michael Setti, to read the professional code of conduct before the president's address, and we induct those who are for induction.
Okay. Hello?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Shubo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know, the code of conduct is taken by the lawyer, the barrister.
Okay.
And he's here. Moses is here already.
Okay, okay.
So, Moses, I'll go to my seat.
Okay.
So, we should start now. Yes. The program, I don't have the program.
Is taken by the lawyer.
Let me take it away. Please disconnect one of your devices, please, to avoid that echo.
They have taken my own device. Good. Okay. For the awardees and the inductees coming in now into Icen, there is a professional code of conduct at page 20 of the booklet, which you will repeat after me now. Wherever you are at the moment, please, can you be on your feet? Be on your feet and then repeat after me. That as a member, associate, fellow, PFD, fellowship, I shall say, I shall not accept professional obligations which I know
professional obligations.
All right, let's take it again.
Which I know.
I shall not accept professional obligations which I know I have not
I shall not accept professional obligations.
authority to perform.
I shall not accept professional obligations which I know I don't have authority to perform.
Number two, I shall accept due responsibility for all work done by me. Say after me.
I shall accept responsibility for all work done by me.
Or under my direct supervision.
Or under my direct supervision.
And shall take all responsible, reasonable steps to ensure that persons working under my authority and supervision are competent, dutiful to carry out the task assigned to them.
Take all
okay.
Steps to
I shall take reasonable steps
under my authority
to ensure that all persons working under me, yes, an authority, and
to ensure that all persons working under me
are competent and dutiful to carry out Number three,
task assigned to them.
when called upon to give my opinion in my professional capacity. Yes?
When called upon to give my opinion in my professional capacity.
Yes, thank you. And based on the facts disclosed to me, give an opinion that is objective and reliable to the best of my ability.
I will leave an opinion that is
liable to the best of my ability.
That's good. Number 4, D. If my professional advice is not accepted,
if my professional
advice is not accepted,
I will take all reasonable steps to ensure that the person or body overruling or neglecting my advice is aware of the possible consequences which will arise therefrom.
Now you cannot take all these things.
Okay, you don't have the paper with you. All right. If my professional advice is not accepted, take it again.
If my professional advice is not accepted,
I will take all reasonable steps.
I will take all reasonable steps
To ensure that the person or body overruling or neglecting my advice.
To ensure that
the person overruling or body
my advice is aware of the of the possible consequence which may arise therefrom. Good. Then number 5, which is E. I will take all reasonable care in my professional capacity. To minimize the risk.
To minimize
the risk
of any mishap or damage.
Minimize the risk
of any mishap or damage.
And shall respect all laws and statutory regulations.
I shall respect all laws and statutory regulations.
Obligations.
Yes, thank you. Number 6, I will not maliciously or recklessly injure.
I will not maliciously
or recklessly injure
or attempt to injure.
Or attempt to injure.
Directly or indirectly.
Directly or
indirectly. The personal reputation of another. Okay. Number 7. I will not improperly solicit for work.
Either directly or
can't you remove it?
Any person.
Are we still together?
We're having it read together to complete it.
No, are we together, please?
Yes. Let's read it together to
We can't hear the barrister anymore.
You have to unmute, so we can't hear. The noise is too much.
Let go to another one.
Please, can they mute that person? That person is disturbing the meeting.
It's disturbing.
Finally,
it's disturbing the meeting.
Finally, are we together?
Yes, we are back. We are back.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I will adhere
I will adhere
to the various infusions
to the various
institution
made to Icen Professional Code of Conduct
made to
Icen Professional Code of Conduct
by the Independent Corrupt Practice Commission.
by the Independent
Corrupt Practice Commission.
May God help you.
May God help me.
Amen.
Thank you. Mr.
Help me. Amen.
Secretary, you can carry on now. Yes.
Carry on, Alhaji.
Madam.
Mr. Mark is to present. Who's setting? Is who setting? Mr. Mark, who's setting? We are waiting for you, sir.
To present what?
We can't hear Mr. Kennedy.
Mr. Mark, please go ahead and present the notice to Mr. President.
I think he needs to unmute himself before we can be heard.
Mr. Mark, please unmute yourself, sir. Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself to speak.
Go to the
audio and unmute yourself to speak.
Where is Dapo?
Host, unmute the president, please.
Say you should unmute the president. I think he's still there.
What's his name?
Professor Jofo. They will admit he has already given his speech. You know, tell me that you'll be going up by 11. Okay, they should give it to the VP.
What's his name?
Satya.
The tech support should unmute this person. Let the program continue, please. We're waiting. We don't have time.
Sophia, please The VP, please.
We can't hear anything anymore.
Unmute,
Let
just talk.
let the president give the
No, the president took permission. He went to somewhere.
Okay.
Yes, he called me and he went
Where
to...
is where is the technical committee? Can they resolve this issue?
Yeah, they
Where
are
is the
working.
technical committee?
We are already working. Please, Dakpo, come out. What's happening? I don't hear Dakpo again. What is the problem?
But rather than keeping quiet and nobody saying anything, please.
The technical committee are working. They are here. They are busy working. It's only the moderators. I don't know what's happening with his phone.
Okay. Do I conduct the induction and read we'll read the president's
That would be fine,
address?
sir. That would be...
The president has already given his speech. He just to present the student.
Please, I wanted to find out. Can someone help me? Can someone help me? The induction we just did, was it for all categories? I mean, associate, fellows, and doctor.
Yeah, what is happening? People are there now waiting.
Address.
Then Dr. Mike is not speaking. They do it when the time is going. Hand over the student, the members to
I'm on.
Or the VP, because the president wants to...
I'm on.
Yes, so I can continue induction. There, that is okay.
So are we on here? Please, on behalf of Dr. Mark, to take the confinement, I want
what's it called?
fellow, including the associate of the Institute of Chartered Economics, president of the Institute of Chartered Economics.
People are... There's one person just telling me.
Hello? Engineer, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me, engineer?
Yeah, we are hearing.
Okay. On behalf of the National Secretary of the Institute of Chartered Economics of Nigeria, I hereby hand over the PFD awardees, the fellow awardee of the Institute of Chartered Economics of Nigeria, and the associate member of the Institute of Chartered Economics of Nigeria, to the National President of the Institute of Chartered of Nigeria, as of today, 29th of August, 2020.
Thank you. Thank you very
Out of our office now. Yeah, it's showing. There's a place that people normally see.
So at this junction, we want to quickly go to the vote of thanks. The PFD and the fellow members of the Institute and Associate, you are all now being admitted as a member of this great institute from today, 29th August, 2020. Hello?
Hello, sir.
They are with you, sir.
Yeah, your certificates and award plaque will be sent to you through your coordinator or your state head, because this is their Zoom. So you will get all your certificate and your award plaque. Those that have made their full payments will get their certificate and their award plaque from Monday by God's grace. Everything is intact and is ready. It will be dispatched to you. I congratulate once again our professional fellowship doctorate degree, doctorate awardee, fellowship awardee, and the associate awardee. Congratulations, congratulations, and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Vote of thanks
Thank you.
Congratulations to all our awardees.
Dr. Sajastiara.
And,
Thank you, sir.
yes.
Why that?
Okay.
Thank you, my DJ.
Thank you very much. Dr. Teje, please, can I ask a question? I don't think the names of the professional doctorate awardees were properly shown on the screen.
Okay, you want the names of the PFG to be shown on screen?
What was the name? I think we were giving the name. The name of Idotis, which I
Hello? I want the one for the doctorate to be shown on the screen.
Okay, okay, the PFG to be shown on the screen.
We can show all.
Yeah, I think it was shown on the screen.
I don't think it was shown. We didn't see it.
Maybe you came late. You came late because of the host is here.
Just flash it again.
It was shown. Can we just have the vote of thanks, please?
The vote of thanks.
He's doing that. He's doing that already.
So it's out already.
It wasn't shown. It wasn't shown. We didn't see the.
It's showing. It's already showing.
Check it now. It's already showing.
The list is there.
Please, can you take it? Please, can you take it up again?
The list is there. So
Can you show us the one for fellowship, please? Please show us the one for fellowship.
You're looking at me.
Fellowship.
If they are there physically, they can do this.
So let's
Fellowship, please.
All of you.
Can we scroll down, please?
Go to fellowship.
What to do?
Can you scroll down, please? It's taking too much on this page.
Hello, Mr. Moderator. You can call the names that is showing on the screen.
Osuji, Nkechi, these are the names on the professional. Are you listening to me? Are we all listening?
Yes.
Professional fellowship doctor.
This will take time. Can we just do the vote of thanks?
It's just allow him finish it. He's running through.
Okiaga, Veronica Okwanzo Okolo, Sena. These are 5 lists of professional fellowship doctorate lead of 2020. Under the prestigious award, Architect Ahmad Musa Dankwa. Now the list of Northeast and West fellow leads. Number 1, Etekwa Comfort Omaka, India, Ferdinand Ellen, Karim Olusegun Martins, Aso Janet Ijoma, Anna Fidele Ibrahim, Adamu Ali Aminu, Samson Sunday Tia, Aliwa Iwa, Olaiwa Adekule Isaac, Richard Iwa Afekem. Then we have a Jenny wife, Abdul Yakin, Northeast and West Associate, Holy Theophilus, Aboki Daniel, Ayola Emmanuel, Olanu Bititi Lokwe, Temi Lokwe, Ayodele Isa, Kehinde, Sodede, Abbas Baal, Abukari Muhammad Modibo, Alakinde Kamal Oluwaseku, Kehinde, Akamile Constitution, Ahmed Adam Bush, Aisha, Ani, Naim Ahmad, Lawal Bakri and not West Associate. Are you listening to the names?
Yes, we are listening, please. Go ahead.
Yes, continue, sir.
Abuwa Ekotu Vincent, Wogwana Wilson, Anthony Ifeme Omeyi. Okay. They don't need to correct it. That's no problem. David, Bala Abubakri, Ezioke Bioma Chinwoke, Southwest list. Akinfuade Ebenezer, Odukame Samson, Olusegun, Nestor Adebola Martins. Are we listening?
Yes, sir.
Point of note, please. I want to draw my name on the doctorate list. I have done complete payment. I don't know why my name is not on that list.
Olusegun for fellow list. Odusame Samson Olusegun fellow list. Nestor Adebola Martins fellow list. Fellow. Ifeanyi Odoma Odofa fellow. Mumuni Agbola fellow. Hassan Alhaji Tanku fellow. Akintunde Abiola Ajibike fellow. Okalike fellow. Afina Bello Usman, Rukaya Muhammad, Kidi Obi, Associate.
The manager with Cardinal.
Can we go to the last page, please?
So please,
the first page.
My name is not mentioned in the Southwest. My name
is not mentioned on the doctorate list.
What is your name, please?
My name is, please, can you listen? Doctor, please, can you go to the doctorate list, the first one?
Doctorate. Please,
yes.
Engineer, please come down to doctorate. Let me call the names again.
I have seen the list. I have seen the list. I have not seen my name.
My name
I have not seen my name.
Okay.
My name is Abakasanga James Inam. Abakasanga James Inam. I have not seen my name.
I think Joy is listening now. The secretary is listening. There's no problem. They'll put your name.
My name is
my name is Abakasanga James Inam.
Type your name on the chat and send it here. They will quickly see it and work on it. If your name is not on the list, type your name on the chat and send it down. We'll work on it.
I didn't see the South-South Fellowship.
My brother.
Hello, sir.
Type your name on this chat. We are online. Type your name on the chat. Then we'll work.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? There is an error. There is an error on my name on the PDF list number 4. So I have typed in the correct name. There is a double N. There is a double N on my middle name, Okwanuzo. It's supposed to be one N. I've typed the correct name. I've sent it as chat to you.
Veronica.
Yes, Okwanuzo Okolo. The middle name. OKW.
Yes, at this juncture, we want to thank all of you for being participants in this 39th investiture of Associate Fellowship, the 19th conferment of Fellowship, and the 6th conferment of PFD. As you participate and become a member of this prestigious Institute of Chartered Economists of Nigeria, you will achieve prosperity. Continue to support Icen programs. Conduct yourself in the manner and the way expected by the laws, by ICPC and SKY. In fact, it's the starting limit. As SKY is your starting limit as an economist. From this point, I want to again, once again, thank all of you for being participants in this very important event at this time. Thank you. God bless you all.
Sorry to come in. I can hear some complaints.
They go now.
That their names are not in the program. I don't know how you expect us to perform immediately. You pay yesterday and you want your name to be in the program. I would have pretty press. Even if you have pretty press, you paid yesterday in the evening. And you want your name to be in the program. So I think maybe the next program in December, like we normally do, we will put your name. Like the list you see, there are some, those are names that we will and into the same. And we will incorporate them. So if your name is not in this section, section. Thank you.
I don't think
that one has clarified that issue.
You know, say if I pass, why would you push this on to
Because
I wasn't in the apply.
I don't want to help your situation. For me, I know reason I'm like that.
Yes. You know the reason now. But me, don't say for example, Adriana, like this thing.
Please, coordinator, can I also ask a question, please?
What's the question?
Because they don't.
Okay. Is it possible for us to have the papers presented along the certificates when they are coming? Did you get me? Maybe I admit you unmute everybody. Mute everybody.
If they want pick between,
you know that a lot of people that is just opinion. They don't want the right thing. Yeah. But after the governor has.
Yes, I asked a question, please.
Hello, engineer.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Please, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. My name is Veronica Okolo. I've sent a chat to correct my name. Yeah, my middle name, the spelling on my middle name is wrong. Okwanozo. Yes. It's supposed. Yes. Okay, I sent a chat with the correct name. And to thank you very much.
Yeah, we have seen it.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I guess that with the next conference will be better coordinated. I think a lot of people are not familiar. Yes, familiar with the controls. Thank you very much for the honor. I appreciate and God bless.
Please, my question is, what does it take to move from fellow to doctorate fellowship?
What do you say? What's your question?
I said, what's the requirement from fellow to doctorate fellow?
Yes, if you are a fellow member, you have your master's and you have up to about 6 to 7 years post work experience. The first thing is the educational qualification of master's or PhD. Then you must have been a fellow member for about 3 to 4 years.
Thank you, sir.
That's okay, sir?
Yeah, that's okay.
Welcome, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, please?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was asking for, sorry, excuse me. I was asking for some of us, we missed the first paper and even the second paper. I was asking, is it possible for us to have the paper sent to us as well?
It's absolutely possible. Just get through your state office. The head there will get it and they send it to you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hello,
all right, thank you.
Sir. I have a question, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir.
I'm hearing you, sir. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, my name is Zayo from Ogun State. Yeah, I have a question, sir.
What's the question?
Now, it's about using the ICN, certificate compared to just like what we have in ICANN. If you have an ICANN certificate for a post, can actually present ICANN certificate to actually assure the PGD and uptake what is it called, the master's degree program without going through the PGD program. Can something like that be replicable with the Icen certificate? Sir?
Yes. It's acceptable.